Alright, so in the last part, I mentioned that by the end of it, I would consider us out of the start of the game. Well, I'm going to put that off until now, alright? Once we get out of here, that's when I can substantiate that. There's a place I would love to be at in the game at the end of this part, but the actual reality of whether we'll get that far is dawning on me, so we will see. I mean, we're going to head on through and see what we've got. Mostly this dungeon, it's not going to be that complicated. We'll just be running through and seeing what we got. Now, one quick thing. We can swap this blind. Van could learn more Gambit slots soon once he gets the LP, but for now, we can actually swap this to our other new spell, which is Immobilize, which we just got. So you can see from the description up there, immobilize all foes in range, making them unable to move and evade attacks. So this is a time magic, I guess. We freeze them in place in time. It's important to note they can still cast spells, and if you're standing next to them, they'll still swing at you and so on. But they can't run around anymore, so they won't be able to flee, which is nice. They can't dodge or evade, which is a very real perk. And also, if you do a setup where you've got like Balthea with a gun, Fran with a bow, and you know Penelo casting from the back as well. I mean, that doesn't leave any space for Varn, but, you know, maybe you have Varn using debuffs from the back. You can actually just immobilize a lot of things and just stand back and basically get a free kill because they can't do anything if they can't get to you. It's not got 100% accuracy, but the fact it's AoE as well is really nice. You're going to see some very tricky fights later where we're getting swarmed with things. Okay, I won't spoil what. And Immobilize can just really help you to get through those fights. You know, you immobilize them all and then you AoE them down with various abilities. Really, really nice stuff. So, yeah, we'll deal with that when we can. Let's throw up a Libra remote and see what we're dealing with, because they are new enemies. So here you'll see these Stealings back. We did fight a couple in the Garam Scythe Waterway. Well, they're actually associated with this location. You see they're weak to Earth. Earth is a weird one. In vanilla FF12, it was really hard to find earth damage. Like, stupidly difficult. However, with, that's vanilla, we're going to have access to Quake and stuff. Right now, we don't have much. The funny thing is, there's a load of enemies that are vulnerable to it. Like, a crazy amount of enemies. So, you can keep your eye out. Taking that Mimic out there fast. We seem to be at a good point. I really think that cutscene skip, which keeps your charge high, has a very, very profound impact on how this whole area goes out. Because when you're fighting against the lights and there are ghosts and things spawning, some of these places are really tricky. Because remember, ghosts divide. That's why I stocked up on a couple of Phoenix Downs, so that when we get into that situation, I can throw the Phoenix down, and instead of it being an instant resurrect, it will be an instant kill mechanic. And it doesn't even have to do any damage, it will just kill them. That'll stop them dividing and all that kind of, you know, nasty other stuff. Let's talk about Basch. Well, let's not talk about Basch. I don't know what I think of him right now. You will notice he's not wielding anything. And as a guest, we can't equip anything. He's actually really weak. I don't know, emaciated, whatever reason. He's been a prisoner for a long time. You can see he's completely battered. And if we actually watch the damage numbers he does, remember at the start of the game, he was hitting like 100 a hit? He's doing 14 a hit now. The guy is a shadow of what he once was. Really sad. So a lot of players don't really notice that about him either. I think that people, they don't look carefully at what character is doing what number and stuff, which is a bit of a shame. And well, Balthea said we could use another sword arm. He's not got a sword. He's got nothing. He's just punching things. He's pretty much useless, basically, at this point. One nice thing I suppose you can do is have him up first and go from there. Also, I think at about this point, we really should bring Stealing back. The question is, who do we want to do that? Let's have Balthea Stealing. I think that works. And we will just potion manually. The other advantage there is we don't run out of potions too quickly. We've got 15. I just want to make sure that they are there. What I've got set up at the moment is not necessarily ideal because Balthea's going to probably potion before Fran cures. Fran's out of MP right now anyway, as you can see. She's down to 3, so she's not casting Blizzard. It means that these guys are going to be a bit weaker. For all this early game stuff, it generally is a bit better to play as your Black Mage. Or, you know, you don't necessarily have to think of it as Black Mage. You can do whatever you want with it. But it's so that you can do this like little wiggle movement. I mean, the spell only costs 6, so you can just wiggle a bit and get it. Later in the game, when we get higher tier Black Magic, you know, you're not going to wiggle for a full 30 MP or something, some nonsense. But early on, it's a good idea. We get a nice little potion there as well. I'm kind of disappointed every time I get a potion because there is a chance for us to get something a little bit better there, and it's just not coming through. One of the things I often see reviewed about Final Fantasy XII is this section of the game where I guess people feel like the endurance test of sort of 2 halves of the Garam Scythe stuff, the Palace stuff, the Naubana dungeon bit just a moment ago with all the Imperials, and then this dungeon, they just think it's a bit much. And as I mentioned yesterday, I think that they probably just, or I should say in the next part, not necessarily yesterday, I don't know how I'll be uploading these, but yeah, I guess they just think that it's a little bit much, and that's why a section of Naubana might have been cut out. I actually kind of like it. The only thing about the Barheim passage, now that we've got a map, is there is it is a long dungeon, and all the way down here, this place, the Zavia subterrane, that place I'm pretty fatigued by the time I get there, but we're doing really good here. What have we gone through? The OP Sector 29, and we're in the Great Eastern Passage now. And we've actually already done most of it. We've even been to all the optional sections and killed all the extra mimics. So we're still stuck at 100% charge there. It's not even going down. The charge will go down when there is a mimic left alive on screen. So I've played a few games that do this. Technically, enemies aren't spawned until you're close to them. There's a glitch that people use in this game, particularly speedrunners use this, called the immobilize glitch, where what you do is you take like Varn here, and you tell him to immobilize his own team. And this is AoE, so it's going to hit all of us. But what you do is you immobilize all of them, and hopefully not ourselves. Not we hit ourselves. Okay, but Basch didn't. And now what we do is we run really far away. Okay. And then we swap back real quick to the immobilized person. I think this is how it works. Or it's the other way around. And basically, by doing that, you can skip the enemies spawning. You guys can read a little bit more about that online. I obviously not. I'm not going to be cheesing the game in this playthrough. I do want you to know about these fun things and these weird bits of trivia. So, yeah, you can use that kind of despawn stuff, make certain things much easier for yourselves. Immobilize does run out in time, by the way. So, they'll be fine. And if you go through a zone boundary, everyone will snap to you as well. Which, again, is one of those things. It's like, oh my god, it does last a while. It's one of the ways in which the loading screens really, it's more of a combat interaction than anything else, most of the time. Let's get some Libra going with Basch. Down to the last 5 motes. I recommend you always keep 2 or 3, so you can see these guys are weak to air, by the way. Keeping 2 or... So the little ones are weak to air, the big ones are weak to blizzard. Keeping 2 or 3 is a good idea, just in case you're going to have a boss and you need to learn what the boss's Achilles heel is or whatever. Okay, and obviously no one's healing. Where's our potions? Here we go, 17. I almost let Basch die there. Okay, I feel kind of bad about that. In fact, I've taken us to a really dangerous place here where there's just 2 of us, pretty much. But yeah, so the main thing is that if a mimic hasn't spawned, it won't be draining the charge. So, like, for example, that conduit there, there's nothing attached to it. There's nothing feeding on it. So you're fine. All right, now, by the way, if you have a look, these guys are running over. They're quite far away. But they are running. Come on, guys. And we can take out this stealing. So, yeah, just keep your eye open. Now, the little trick here, I actually really like the way that the Barheim passage is laid out. Here you go. Look at this mimic. If you watch, he's now going to walk over and start feeding. And then the charge will start going down. See that? And we're fine because the lights are on, so we've only got stealings to fight. If it was dark, we'd have all these ghosts to deal with and zombies, and oh, it's not so easy. So here's what's kind of clever about the Barheim passage. You want to just take a straight shot out. You want that sweet taste of fresh air. And by the way, I think that's what's cool about having all these dungeon sections close to each other. In a game that is so open world, they take your freedom away here. You know, the idea of fate versus freedoms, you get to make your own decisions and all that stuff. It's a big, big theme. And so having this moment where you're imprisoned is, I actually think, was really on point for this game's story. And taking your freedom away here means a lot. And so it's good that it's a long section. Really, it really makes you lust for getting out. I do believe that sometimes you need to have like negative or more restrictive experiences in games to really get the most out of them. Okay, so that area was an optional area. I'm going on a whole rant right now, slightly too early, which was very, very silly of me. So let's come back now. Oh, we should have got into the optional area before killing this mimic. That would have given us a bit of a recharge. That's fine. So, yes, yeah, some bonus gear over here. Which I think both Varn and Balthea are going to learn to use, which is real nice. Let's pull over. Let's see as well. By the way, finally, I think I'm capable of playing on active. Let's see what... And doesn't the game look like it flows so much better? What our ether stock is looking like. Okay, we're at 5. So I'm happy for Fran to just attack with her bow here. Until it's looking a bit scary. When it's looking a bit scary, I will ether her for the heals and the cures and all that kind of stuff. If the charge starts going down, that's when I'll bring the ethers out. But I don't want to do them too quick. So, where are we here? This is an optional area. This is Ops Sector 36. And we have a mimic that's marked on the map down the ramp here, which we can kill if we want. Looks like there's a chest down here as well, so let's go for that. In fact, let's grab that while we wait. Varn going for the immobilized there. Unfortunately, he's immune. So, shrewd people might have noticed this on a previous part as well. Varn was spamming blind, like 2 parts ago. When we were in the Garam Scythe sewers, he was spamming blind even though the thing was immune. The game is not intelligent enough to know that. So that is probably the worst part of the Gambit system in Final Fantasy XII. You set up all these cool fun things, and then they just kind of break because your allies just spam the same thing. I also wish there was a hotkey to just turn off all Gambits at once. Like when we were running past those Imperials a second ago, you could stealth past them, but everyone's inclination is going to be to attack because all their Gambits are on. And doing this, turn off, turn off, turn off, turn off, is annoying as hell. And it's kind of difficult with your fingers over the controller as well. So, I don't know, one button that toggles people like that would have been brilliant. Hey, we got a silver bow. That's good. That was actually something we bought from the shop, wasn't it? Or did we ignore that at the shop? We did! Brilliant. So, yeah, that's good. Fran can equip that very soon. That's not even the gear. The gear is here. Check this out. So, those areas down there, you see that switch, that light? That is really important. That's how we're going to get out. All these areas down here, very tricky to get to. You'll notice that they're directly beneath us. I'll come back to that in a second. Now, the chest itself is a battle harness. So let's go have a look at this. Accessories, battle harness. Improves chance to counter. So, in the vanilla game, the only way to counter attack is by equipping that harness. So, if you want to see all the dynamic and interesting combat moves where there's parries and blocks and dodges and lots of combos and all that stuff's going on, if you want to see that in its best example when there's counters happening too, you need to dedicate that accessory for the rest of the game onto a character. That's what vanilla is. I didn't like that. I know that Final Fantasy XII can be so much better, so I actually tweaked it. Everyone has innate battle harness now, but we can counter really fast and much better if we equip the battle harness on top. So that's why you've seen my guys were already countering without it, but they'll be even better with it. Not necessarily everyone will get the license. Varn definitely will, and another mystery person who is not yet in the party. Anyway, so, right, if we try and move south, we'll find this stairway. And I'm actually not going to fight this mimic. We can just let him eat for now. Just leave him alone, let him heal up, that's fine. Or because the only reason I'm coming here is to press X on this massive gate. It says it's far too heavy to force. There must be a switch lever. We've got to go to that lever that we just spied a second ago. Wow, Fran took 0 damage from that. Does she have a lot of magic resist? Well, maybe. She is in Mystic Armor, which gives you some. And MP as well. Both of those. Also, by the way, because he's attacking us, not feeding, the bar isn't going down, which is kind of amazing. Alright, so flans. Pretty scary. We're going to need to know what they're weak to. I actually find flans some of the most dangerous stuff in the game. And we want to get everyone's gambits back on. Like, look how fiddly that is. Look how much time we lose doing that. So, let's have a look at what they are vulnerable to. They're weak to fire. So, let's just get her going with the fire straight away. She's not gambited to do it. Look at how little damage everyone's doing. And then she just destroys them with fire. The thing is, we don't have too many options for people who can cast elemental magics right now. Later, we'll get weapons that have elements on them. So everyone can contribute to this kind of stuff. Just right now, Fran is more of the one for those specific targets. And it's cool, because, you know, I think that magic should be strong and fun. And so, there it is. Right. Oh, a couple more. Yeah, and by the way, I think if the lights are off, you won't find the flan. I don't think they make you fight these flan. Here's a perfect time for an ether, by the way. I don't think they make you fight the flan pop-ups and all of the ghost pop-ups at once. I think this is more of an either-or kind of situation. Also, Balthea there just spamming steel. Let's interrupt that chain by having him attack specifically. Get a bit of damage going, and let's get this fire command on this flan and finish it off. Libra's over, but we know it's low. There you go. In fact, I think we could see it was critical there. Unfortunately, we hit oil right there. Did you see that on the last hit where it wasn't beneficial to us anymore? When we get higher tier fire magics, we will get the oil more regularly. Here you go. So look, we're below half, and look, a zombie's appeared. We already killed one of those in the last part. Zombies, I'm not so concerned about. It's when it gets even darker and the ghosts appear with the zombies, things get nastier. And yes, as you can see there, there's some poison coming in. And we did buy the poisonous spell, but we don't have anyone who can cast it. Luckily, Kites has done us a solid a while ago, giving us an abundance of antidotes. Which we pretty much ran through, actually. I think we might have just stolen some extra ones. Wow, what happened to Balthea? Sorry, what? Did he run away somewhere? What are you doing, dude? Right, well, I guess everyone's getting a little bit low here, so... Oh, but we don't want to lose too much time. Let's just keep moving for a second. Oh, God, it's another zombie. The charge is really high. Why are there zombies coming down, man? And more flans. All right, Gambit, Fran. Right. Let's turn this off. Needs must. Items will be really good because we don't need MP for them. So let's just make sure that anyone below 50%, he's healing up. We're not going to be greedy and stealing anymore. Another ether on Fran because really, Fran is the Flan Slayer. It's in the name, guys. Oh, well, did they kill it with... No, they killed the zombie. Oh, good, she got oil. Nice. She'll probably two-shot this now. Ready? Boom. 600 damage, guys. 600! Holy crap, that's a lot of damage. Right. Now, the switch... I think up here's a dead end, to be honest. I think you get a chance at a chest. Yeah, but otherwise it's a dead end. I like the dead ends. I don't know. And you see that boarded up door up there? I just like thinking about who used to work here, imagining this place being really busy, lots of miners, happy people traveling around. There's lots of commerce and economy and good jobs here. Who was the last person to walk on those steps? And maybe it wasn't even that long ago, you know? Right, she'll be fine casting Blizzard. Now this is good because he's going to push our charge back up and we'll keep the undead away. And I want to keep my distance. Oh god, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Actually, this is fine. They can deal with that, and she can get a head start on the Flan. Or can they deal with that? Let's get some Libra out. Getting a bit dicey with the Libra here. We're going to get a ton of them when we get back to Rabanastre. But, for now... Okay, so the real issue here is what I was mentioning. That Varn is spamming Immobilize. So just get rid of that and just please attack them. Finish them off. Or at least we could swap that back to blind. Let's give her a little bit more MP with MP Stroll. Come on. There you go. Nice. And we will fire him out of the map. Okay, good. Now, what's the map we're in? We are in the OP sector 37 now. And this looks like a dead end, actually, on the map. Let's just check if there's a chest. There is. Could be something good. All of these chests basically have the chance to give you whatever Burrow was selling for free, as a general rule of thumb. Now, where we want to go, don't cast Blizzard. No, 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 don't spend the MP on that. Oh, damn it, Fran. There you go. Well, they should be able to deal with that. The flans are genuinely really annoying. This is getting a bit sluggish. But yeah, so if you are getting all the chests, if you were to get a perfect roll on every one, you'd basically have Burrow's inventory. That's about it. So the switch is down here. Oh, I should fight it, actually. Yeah, because this is a bit of a long walk. Stop doing that, Fran. It's fire. Please use fire. Luckily, silencing the flans is a pretty good idea. And Varna's doing that automatically. I think if you were to play without a dagger user down here, and you don't have the benefit of the Mage Masher, you're going to struggle a little bit more. So another Mimic, really crucial to get to him. He's going to buff us just about back up to 90 charge. It's a lot of pressure, right? A lot of fear. Making sure that you keep ahead. And we got a lot of resources we're thinking about. We're thinking about MP, we're thinking about potion quantity. We still have 12. So that's good. I suppose Basch again. I like controlling Basch. Even if he is completely pathetic. 8 damage, did we just see? 8? Really? Alright, there you go. There it is. I know that he dropped an item over there. We might be able to get that in a second. And so check this out. This... Oh, one final flan. My goodness. This is the switch. I'm just going to hit it straight away. Now, if you look up there, can you see that bridge up there? That's where we were standing. It's actually technically directly on top. These are 2 maps stacked above one another. And here's the thing about the map system. I've gone on far too many rants about this. You hear a loud sound from the south. The gate is open. If you look at the map, you don't realize, you know, like they're laid out slightly differently. Now, this is for clarity, right, and usability. If this map was actually truly representative of how the maps were laid together, it would be less usable. But also, I think it's more fun to realize the truth, which is that, really, you were looking at the place just a moment ago. So anyway, there's that last flan. He's going to take ages to kill if we don't get the MP, so I'm just going to have everybody run over. Now, you'll notice I'm not actually asking anyone to flee right now, but there is such a thing as like a leash range. You go far enough away, and they will eventually figure out that they've got to move. It's just very imprecise and not a good idea to do what I just did there. For example, Varn, you can see he's way back down the corridor here because he's kept trying to attack. So you kind of want to avoid that if possible. Hold the flee button, get people to sheath, and they will rally to you. The reason why I want to be kind of quick about this is not just the charge, but I also want to beat any respawns. Sometimes enemies respawn on zone transitions. Sometimes they respawn just from you hanging around. And this is a kind of a complicated little side area, honestly. This is the section of the Barheim passage that I always ended up feeling a little bit fatigued by. And then, like, it opens up into a big cave, and you're like, oh my god, we got even more? This is the bit that I think the devs could have cut down a little, you know? Not necessarily the interesting stuff where your gear setup is different. And here, this Mimic that I chose not to fight earlier, well, what a surprise. Now we can fight him. And we can keep our charge up right as the zombies have appeared once again. Let's just deal with this. Actually, they can probably kill it. So did he just try to cast Cloying Breath? I think he did. I think that's what causes a lot of poison. And, I mean, the poison in here is what's going to be extra nasty if you get caught out in the dark. In general, compared to vanilla, the chance for mobs to actually inflict their status is much higher. The way that Square have the game balanced by default now is like, there's all these things that the enemies can do, but you never see it because it's like a 4% chance. But anyway, we have made it, and Basch will finally get a little bit of gear here, thank God.
Mist seethes.
It reeks. Something's close. Nice moves there, Captain.
You mean traitor?
So they say. But I didn't see him kill anyone.
My brother did.
Rex. He said he had a brother 2 years younger. I see. You meant you. Your brother. What became of...
He's dead.
I'm sorry.
It was you who killed him.
I give you my word. That was not the way of it.
Ooh, so the backstory. Here we go. Revelations.
Rex, sir. My name's Rex. All I have left, sir. He's 2 years younger than I. Living
Time, Basch. Save the discussion for later.
We found him! But if we arrive after he signed the treaty...
Sir, we have little time. You must go to
As
the
I
king.
feared. They're slowing us
home,
down.
Captain Ozilis, and for my parents. Captain, why? Our king, have you done?
His Majesty was a traitor.
2 Bashes.
A twin brother. Fancy that. But still, the pieces fit, I'll give you that much. And he did look like you.
I don't believe you.
Of course not. It was my fault that Rex was there. I am sorry.
My brother, he trusted you. He trusted you and he lost everything. How can I believe you?
Not me, then. Believe in your brother. He was a fine soldier. He fought to the last to protect his homeland. Now, surely he fought to protect his brother.
You don't know anything!
Believe what you want to. Whatever it takes to make you happy. What's done is done.
I like Balthier. He's all business, baby. No melodrama. Let's keep going. Hell yeah. Brother. Alright, so, we can hit the save crystal. That's the idea. Now, they're very unclear about it, really, but here's the idea. The Arcadians faked it. That judge is Basch's twin brother. He dressed up to look like Basch, and they staged it in front of Rex, leaving him as a witness. So, they pinned the blame on Basch for killing the king. We didn't see Basch kill the king. Rex didn't see it. It was just kind of implied. The Arcadians themselves did it. They knew that Basch would take the fall. But, you know, he's not even necessarily a Dalmascan. People would easily accept the story that they were selling. And what does Arcadia get out of it? Well, a 2-for-1. They just got Nebradia, and now they get friggin' Dalmasca under heel as well. They get the king out of the way. He signed the treaty, but they take none of the blame for his murder. Some disgraced random knight does that. Yeah, that's the idea. Basch is, in theory, innocent. That's what Balthier means when he says that all the pieces fit. What happened between these two brothers to set them so against one another? Why is it, you might be wondering, that, hold on, so both brothers are from this other nation that fell. It fell like 18 years ago. Landis is very old. Gone to Arcades a long time ago. So why is one brother from, you know, fighting for Arcadia and the other brother fighting for Dalmasca? Well, we'll talk more about that later. But yeah, that's Basch's story, that he did not kill the king. Rex was kind of a pawn, which makes the last, you know, months or however long he spent in hospital of his life even more tragic. And maybe it's true. Didn't Basch in that cutscene sound kind of different? So killing that mimic was kind of unnecessary. I want to draw your attention here to this gate, by the way, which is closed at the moment. Later in the game, that will open. Now, on our map, there is no suggestion anything's over there. But there is more, and in fact, there is a very secret, very hidden, very scary thing down there. Ooh, it's actually one of my favorite things in the game going there. That's an optional area. It's a bit like how in Garum Scythe, remember? There's all those doors I said will eventually open. Well, kind of same thing here. Most of the places you go to have got really cool optional stuff for your interest later. So by the way, let's talk a little bit about mimics. Mimics are kind of a staple of this series, things that hide as chests and then they're actually enemies. Here you'll notice I've been opening a couple of chests and mimics have been coming out of them. I don't know why for Final Fantasy XII, Square kind of combined the idea of a mimic with the idea of an electrical machine that is eating electricity. I think that both of those are pretty solid enemy concepts that I would keep separate. Like, why do both of them together? I guess there's an interesting, like, little interaction here where we're trying to race against the clock and the greedy are punished. You know, I'm supposed to be racing against the clock, but I'm going for all these chests. And oh no, it's not even a real chest, it's just another mimic, and now he's eating even more electricity and he slowed me down more. I get that there's that kind of dynamic there in a like really perfect combat balance you might be able to experience. So maybe that's why they did it. I have to say I kind of prefer the other idea of mimics in the other games, but chests look a bit weird in this game too, so I mean, whatever, I suppose. There's actually a lot of story that you will eventually unlock in the bestiary about how the mimics were created, and there's all this stuff. So we will return to the subject matter way later down the line, but for now, we're just going to slaughter them. And, you know, there's always a funny thing about mimics in that you're denied the initial loot that you were looking for, but at the end of the day, they are giving you experience and LP and stuff, which you still want. So, you know, there's another kind of reward associated with it. So we're really close to getting out of the Barheim passage now, which is very nice. And these new kinds of toads here. So we can go down there, which I'm not going to here. But you can walk along. There's a chance at a chest that usually doesn't have anything good. What I want to draw your attention to is those lights out in the distance. Can you see those? That is way off over here. A long, creepy, haunted bridge. A bridge that goes across this underground lake that was once a part of the railway. Oh, guys, I love it so much. A spooky, haunted bridge over an underground lake lost to time. And look at the lights reflected in the water down there. Amazing. Don't you desperately want to go over and explore that? I mean, there's something that stirs in me when I look at it. But for now, that is not available. It's just shrouded in the dust over there. We'll move over here. Another really cool little thing to notice is this. This is actually a way out, guys. Look, there's a staircase, sunlight, but it's locked. Oh, what? So we're nearly out, but unfortunately, another obstacle steps in our way. Fate would have it not us go through there. By the way, you might think it's a really ridiculous coincidence that Basch happens to have found the younger brother of one of the last soldiers he saw before everything bad happened. And yeah, I think it is a big coincidence, but the story goes to explain coincidences as we go forward. So don't you worry. So by the way, I think the reason he's doing 0 on these discharge attacks is because he needs to feed first. He eats and then discharge does damage if he's allowed to eat a lot. But we're not giving them the chance. We're very quick here. We're doing really well, I would say. So. And hey, we've not only kept the light on, but we've actually explored every optional area except that tiny little road with those toads a second ago. I mean, we went close enough to unfog everything. So I'm pretty happy. And this is the Zodiac subterrane, by the way. Get a dark moat there. I think that sometimes that chest can give you another moat, which is really good against the next boss. So are you guys ready? Oh yeah, we've been getting a warning at the save crystals as well that we can't easily return. Look at that, we're 7 hours into the game now, guys. 7 hours, baby. So, there's going to be a boss. Beyond the Terminus number 4 adjunct. Oh, and as well, Basch has been fighting now with a proper sword. You might not have noticed that, but he's been doing real damage again now. He can fight now. So, he's well worth playing here. And I think his model and stuff's really fun right now. Look at this. He looks cool. So, in we go. This boss, well, look, instead of just telling you they're all dangerous and stuff, let's just see what we got. Lots of mimics. And by the way, I don't want to spoil every time a boss is coming up. Don't worry, for the big story ones and stuff, I won't. We will let it naturally happen. The door closes. We actually see it close. Alright, so I'm going to swap to wait. And let's see what we've got. So Fran's starting with Blizzard, which is good. You'll notice that we're in a big room. The charge bar is still here. We've got all these little mimics around. Plus this big guy, the Mimic Queen. Lots of other doorways. and the way out is actually locked here. You can see that Vaan is spread out pretty far over here. There's loads of conduits all around the outside of the room, and all the little mimics are eating the charge as they go. So basically, the lower the charge gets, the worse the situation here. So what this boss is doing is it's gonna keep spawning the little guys which keep feeding. And you have to make a choice. Are you gonna focus on the boss? And look, there you can see that he healed himself. The queen healed itself there as well. We'll throw a lead remote here. Or do you stop these little things? The thing is, if you kill the little things, it will spawn new ones. Which you can say is bad, but at the same time, it takes effort for the Mimic Queen to use that spawn ability. So, as long as the queen is spawning, it's not attacking you, right? Which is not too shabby. Here you'll see as we open the fight, it's really not too bad. We've got it silenced, so one of the bigger issues that this boss presents is it will cast thunder on you, and it will destroy you with thunder. But because we have the Mage Masher, we can keep that, you know, threat minimized. It's the same as with the Fire Main. You get the silence up to deal with the fact that otherwise they're going to destroy you. We didn't have silence personally. We hadn't played with Fran enough to have it. But you know, we could have stuck about a bit and got it. Here we've got it on the Mage Masher, which is really nice. Good reason to have a dagger guy. Basch is actually hitting a lot harder. But you'll notice that this guy's weak to ice, or she is weak to ice, and Fran has been defaulted to Blizzard this whole time. But oh dear, she just slapped Fran, so Fran is dead. Seems like we're doing okay, right, so far? Queen's getting kind of low. The Queen is actually doing very little right now. I guess because it's silenced? Oh no, it's because it's spawning. Who is it that's running around destroying them? I think it's Balthier. Look at that. He's just like hitting them. And Vaan's running off as well. We might actually be able to one-shot this, which would be pretty good. I actually was expecting the special ability of the fight to have landed already. Let's focus this down here for a second, I suppose, before turning back. Oh, okay, here we go. So once the boss gets below half health, it has 2 skills that it will use. This one is called Earth Shaker. Ground Shaker. Does a ton of damage, as you just saw. And then it has another one, if we can survive, which we want to be kind of careful of here. I should really res Fran. I mean, I wasn't going to really try too hard here, but I guess we will. There you go. Let's pull Fran back up. I've survived enough now that I've got the thirst for life. We'll keep her away. And look, I basically showed you all the mechanics. So yeah, let's go for it. Right, what I'm going to do is get slow up, because that's going to be really important. But basically, the fight is going to be really dangerous now. We don't have moats to suddenly just nuke this guy. We do have a Rhyme Fang. Do you remember from earlier? We've actually got 3 of them. So we can spam that out, and I'll probably do that in a second. But yeah, we want slow up. We also want blind up, because when this thing auto-attacks, it does a lot of damage. She really hurts with her auto-attacks. So let's throw that there. That's good. And now here's the other ability. This is discharge. So once the charge is low enough, it will do this. And that is basically going to nuke everyone around her. So the game is to keep people spread out, which if you're fighting the tiny mimics, you will be. There's a lot of benefits to hitting the tiny mimics. They deny this thing health as it heals up, and if the charge is at 0, this fight, I think, gets a little bit more challenging. It keeps you away from the AoE. We're actually building a loot chain as well on the tiny mimics too. I think the boss itself doesn't actually technically drop anything, so you can kind of ignore that. That doesn't really matter much. But it's nice to see how many you end up killing. Eventually, they do stop as well, I think. I could, in theory, put him on the spear. The thing with guns I haven't mentioned yet is they take a long time to shoot. I don't know, maybe there's the idea that you're loading gunpowder and stuff in it. Okay, this is really bad. We need to move Fran away. Fran has to be away. Look, he's preparing Ground Shaker. Balthier, get away. Oh, is he out of range? I hope he is. Please be out of range. Basically, this is an AoE game. No, he wasn't, but he's alive. All right, that's good. Basch went down. Phoenix down. Good thing we stocked up, right? Looks like all the tiny mimics are dealt with now, except one. That's good. Oh, Balthier did lose it in the end. Pretty scary. We do have blind on the queen, right? Please tell me we have blind on the queen. Silence and blind. Yeah, slow, silence, and blind. You get those, keep those 3 up, you're going to do all right. Now, how many potions have we got left? Are we out? It feels like we might be out. Yes, we are. Okay, so Fran, Ether. Balthea, high potion. Van. Basch. All right. Did we want a high potion Basch here? I mean, I don't think so. I think we hope that he survives, and we cast Cure on him once this ether's been done. In fact, let's get Balthea to use another. And there is the elixir as well. And I'm not scared to use those things. Some people like hoard them forever, which is just such a dumb idea. Okay, Fran's taking hits, so we got to put her away. Ah, she's trying to cure Balthea here. We got to get the boss a little bit lower. That's the only thing right now. Just a little bit lower before we can use the Rhyme Frang. So just keep it moving nice and slow. Immobilize is good as well. If you cast Immobilize early enough in the fight, when she spawns all those initial creatures, they'll all stay near her and you can nuke them all with Blizzard. Because don't forget, they're still weak to this. So this is good. I'm just keeping it kited. But I'm really scared of Basch dying over there. And I think we're probably low enough now. As long as it doesn't use its special move again. Let's go for the Rhyme Frang. We might be able to finish this off. Okay, so... where are they? Alright, 1. And this idea of assassinating them when they're low, really, it's a big thing in Final Fantasy 12. 2. 3. Oh god, that wasn't it. That wasn't as much damage as I thought it was gonna be. I thought we were over. Honestly, I looked at my other screen because I was wondering how long the video's gone. Because I kind of wanted to be out of here. Oh no, in like half an hour. So we're like 10 minutes later than I wanted to be. Oh come on, don't die. Okay, good. Miss. Haha. Suck it, Mimic Queen. Now it might do another one, so make sure we stay back. Particularly with Balthea. Balthea's just nice, consistent damage. Looks like it's focusing over there on Basch. Oh, it managed to hit him. And there we go. Right as Basch died. Sorry, Basch, but look, he was really good there. He held his aggro. I'm really happy we had Basch with us there. Now that he's got a sword and he was able to help. And voila, that's the Mimic Queen. One final encounter as we escape and reclaim our freedom. I think the soundtrack in there was actually called The Struggle for Freedom, by the way, the music, that boss fight music. If not, it's another one of the tracks. Weird trivia, this cutscene is unskippable, and I have no idea why.
To think Dalmascan air could taste so sweet.
Where are we?
The Estes Sand, by the look of it. Let's back to Rabanastre before we shrivel up. By your leave, Captain.
Yes, the hour of my return is already over late. The people may hate me, but that does not free me of my charge.
So, the disgraced knight will travel with us back to Rabanastre now, and look at where we are, guys. Remember these guys? They said that they had a friend indoors. That was Burrow. That's the dude way deeper down. The whole entrance just caved in with a crash, and the boss is still inside. There's another entrance to Barheim around here somewhere, but the boss has the key. So if we want to get back in, it's not going to be through here. But these are the guys we spoke to. See? We came here with Pinello. Nice. And now this save crystal makes sense, hopefully, to everyone, why this is actually here. Oh, and I should probably actually save here. So, we now have a walk back. We could go to the outpost that's to the north, and we could just teleport crystal. Or we can actually travel. Now, I'm going to actually travel because we have 4 players with us right now. We'll play as Basch as well. Which means that we can fight things quite comfortably. And we might even be able to spy some rare game as we do so. Now, you guys have actually already kind of seen me traveling in this area of the world. So, I am going to skip forward a little bit. All I'm going to do is go back up that ramp there on the left, through the Yardang Labyrinth, and out towards where the Saurian was. And if I can find a rare game en route, I will. I'm going to kill all of these because I want to keep our jobs high, but, you know, you guys don't need to see me slaughter wolves. The other thing is there are some cockatrice right around this corner, and they can still petrify. We still don't necessarily have too many gold needles. So what I could do is have Balthea stealing them again. By the way, one downside to having Balthier be your stealer instead of Vaan is Balthier, if you're... this is if he's not using a spear, right? We could give him a spear and it doesn't matter. But Balthier's ranged, and if you make him steal at the start of the fight, then he closes to melee, which isn't ideal. It doesn't matter now that we're back in early zone areas, and the game is a bit sweeter and a bit freer. But yeah, you do want to be concerned. So, yeah, here they are. Now, I want to show you guys a little hint system I put in the game to do with the rare games, just so that people don't miss them. There's a rare game here, which is called the Neck Bet. Specifically spawns if you are killing these cockatrices. Once you've killed some cockatrices, if you leave the map and come back, there's a chance for the Neck Bet to appear. But it's like, how are you supposed to know that? Like, usually if you're traveling here, you're kind of going in one direction. Like, what is all of that? But here's the thing. If you open the map, you'll see we're at the Dalmasca Estesan, the Sandswept Naze, and it says, a cockatrice defends its brethren. So there is a hint up there that maybe there's a rare game. Often we can find hints about rare games on the maps. I actually added that myself, and that's a little cue for me as I make these videos to know, you know, there's this thing to show off, there's this thing to talk about. And the Neck Bet does spawn basically here. I'm going to use Turbo for anywhere where it's, you know, there's a bit of RNG involved or something. And we're just going back and forth and we'll see where he is. Oh no, but the downside is, of course, we're going to get petrified. Oh, I can't do this, honestly, because we don't have the means of dealing with stone and petrified just yet. I can't do it this early. I kind of wanted to demonstrate it. We can demonstrate some other guys. I could spend a gold needle on Basch here. Or we could just let him get paralyzed. So whatever. Sorry, Basch. A bit silly. I did want to show you the Neck Bet, though, because he's a much scarier cockatrice. Anyway, I will mention when there's rare game around, and if we see it, then we see it. If we don't, then we don't. It's just going to have to be the way that it goes. I will spend the energy to kill this if everyone... Are you guys seriously still dealing with that friggin' wolf? One wolf? I like that. Vaan swings, gets the silence. The black magic comes in from the side, and then Balthier finishes off with the gunshot. That was quite cinematic to me. That was nice. And we're still hanging out with these two. I mean, it's been a while now. And now it kind of makes sense why they might be party members, because we've just gone through a hell of an adventure with all of them. But, who knows what will happen when we get back to Rabanastre, right? Whole dynamic will shift. It says the Ardang Labyrinth. Now, one of the rare games we can show off here. Now, this guy's easier to show off. If I hit the map, it says a Mandragora defends the Cactites. So, first of all, you might wonder, well, hold on, what is a Mandragora? A Mandragora is like that rogue tomato we fought before. Do you remember that thing? Well, there's another one. It's pretty special. You're going to have to deal with these wolves here. Now, do you remember when I ran here earlier, a few parts ago, a Cacti popped up? Come on, that guy's HP critical. Just hit him. Hit him once. That's all you have to do. There you go. We really should put the spear on Balthier. Wait, is he actually not attacking anymore? Did I mess that up? No, he still is. So yeah, when we ran here, a Cacti popped up out of the ground. And hopefully we'll see one. Oh god, more cockatrices. Let's just ignore these for a second. Cockatrice Reddy's poke didn't manage to hit us there, so that's alright. We're just looking around for a Cacti right now. Any kind of Cacti that might appear. I don't hear any right now. Plenty of wolves afoot. In fact, I think we're kind of missing our exit as well right now. Well, this is quite stressful. Look, they're sprinting off over there to attack when they really shouldn't. So this is back towards the entrance to Giza, if I remember rightly. And Naubana, by the way, you can go to Naubana even with Basch with us right now. And it's like, hold on, we were just in the prison below there. Is that really a good idea? It's kind of funny. They'll kind of turn you away at the entrance to the fortress and say, oh, we're expecting a big airship in. Please come back later. So they are a little bit cautious about that. We've probably got the money to hire a chocobo now as well, you know, so we could use that to ride around. There's no real reason for us to go back to Naubana at the moment. So I'm not going to worry. I can't find any Cactites. Usually they do appear. But specifically right here near this palm tree. Look, there's one that's appeared here. We might get lucky here. Let's deal with these wolves. My god, the number of wolves that I've managed to aggro as we're running around is just insane. I am actually going to gold needle now. Oh, yeah, because there's not a save crystal, is there? There's just the kid that invites you in. So, for like a huge price. So there's a gold needle. Nice little appearance of the animation there. So you see how we killed that cacti? When you kill a cacti right next to this tree, there is a chance for a mandragora to appear called the Ripe Rampager. And he runs around doing his thing. There's like 4 different cacti all around the labyrinth that can pop up. Each one you kill gives you another chance for the Ripe Rampager. But I guess we never really got too lucky there. So, back to the outpost. And you see it's a little bit different. The boy with his dog isn't around. So I'm really happy that I showed that off to you guys before. We've got this chest over here. More random little buried gill that we don't have to worry. Look, it's back to part 2, everyone. Feels pretty good. So, the other thing that I'm going to do now is... Oh, no, that kid's the same one that would invite us to rest. We're still not strong enough for the Saurian. Do not try to kill the Saurian. The Saurian is still way, way stronger than us. In fact, did we ever come here with Libra? I don't think we had Libra before, right? So let's throw a Libra moat. We'll have one left after this. That's fine, though, honestly. Here he is. All right, so we will attack the wolf if we like. The Saurian has 12,000 health, guys. All right, don't push your luck. The Saurian will nuke you. Don't. I mean, we do now have more party members, so we could probably risk a steal. There you go. He just ate a wolf as well. We probably could risk a steal and we'd be all right. But, you know, I don't recommend it as a general rule of thumb. So, Rabanastre's up here. Ah, this isn't what I wanted to do. Maybe we should have teleport crystalled. Damn, I wanted to keep Basch with us. Because I wanted to go kill the Thexterra. Remember the Thexterra bounty? But it's alright. I guess we'll do it this way.
I thank you.
I'd avoid crowds if I were you. In this town, you're still a traitor, you know.
The Resistance will surely find me soon. Fate's will, we meet again. I would pay my respects to your brother.
You're a fugitive now, too. Stay low for a while.
I like how Balthier is more than familiar with that.
What about the stone?
Do as you like. That stone's ill-favored.
We feel regret. We sought that stone and found ourselves only worry.
You offering it?
It's mine.
Then why'd you ask? Our regards to your girl.
We stay in Rabanastre a while.
God, I love that line where he says, no, I don't want it anymore, but are you offering? Like, I don't know, it feels very real to me.
What do you think? Can I trust Basch?
Does it matter, Vaughn?
I gotta get rid of this thing.
Yeah, maybe they're right.
But maybe I should show it to Penelo first, so she knows I got something. She'd be at Miguel's place this time of day.
So we just want to sell it, earn a quick buck, and we'll be alright. So we lost our guest, we lost Balthier, and we lost Fran. We are back to being alone. And yeah, if we'd gone a different route, if we had gone this way to Giza, then we could have gone through Giza up here, and we would have been in the West of Sand where the Thexterra was. But it's alright, all in due time. We're going to be way too strong for that Thexterra now anyway. Hello, Gertie. It's good to see you again. We'll get on a chocobo soon enough. Right, so this is what I mentioned a few parts ago. It's like, well, hold on. You can just kind of chill sometimes and you're sort of back to normal and, you know, the story could end. So, there's a new Moogle here. The Moogling Attendant. Lovely little hat. Hello. Hello over there. With a nice little red pom-pom. The Moogling is once again open for business, Kupo. We'll happily teleport you to any of several select locations throughout Rabanastre. And I've saved the best part of it for last. It's free, Kupo. Just look for one of our signposts and speak with a friendly Moogling Moogle, who's sure to be close at hand, Kupo. Alright, so, the Moogling Moogle. Another little group of Moogles here. They're all different colours. Look at it. So here's Herdy, by the way. And here's Gertie. Are they related? Those of you with very long memories who make it many parts down the line, you might enjoy that little comment there. So, yes, in the original PlayStation 2, loading times were longer. And you never had the super speed modes. So traveling through Rabanastre actually took a long time. So this feature was worthwhile. Nowadays, if you're playing on an SSD on PC with 4x turbo mode, you probably don't need to use the Moogling. But I am going to, because I want to play the game like for realsies or whatever. So yeah, welcome to the Moogling, Kupo. This is your first time using the Moogling? Nothing to it! The Moogling lets you teleport to several select locations across Rabanastre. We had to close for the parade earlier, but we're up and running again, Kupo. The service is free of charge. Why not give it a try? There's no time like the present, Kupo. So, you get to pick all these different places. And yeah, as you can kind of get a sense here, the city's like changed. And all the dialogue's different here. They're probably all really keen to talk about the fate and the attack at the fate and stuff. We've obviously been on a whole adventure ever since then. But yeah, so the Moogling is whenever you see these weird post things. And they basically give you a free teleport around the town. Here, we're at the bazaar, which is especially nice because we can go straight up to the clan provisioner. And we can ask, you know, if we've ranked up in the meantime. We haven't because we haven't beaten the Thex Terror, so not quite sure why I picked here, to be honest. But if we'd killed the Thex Terror, we might have been able to speak to that guy. And check it out. Welcome to the Muthru Bazaar. Finest goods in all of Rabanastre. Deals not to be missed. Right, so another little update, and this is a cool side quest as the story goes along, is this lady here. This is just called a Vieira at the moment. And she says, hello, I am called Kityin. I left my home and came to Rabanastre only quite recently. I have yet to learn my way around. I had been hoping to find someone I might speak with. Should you like to talk again, it would please me greatly. So, is the city not wonderful? I still lose my way on occasion, but I have come to know some of her walks and alleyways. But the land, I cannot hear it. Should this not trouble me as a Vieira? So, this is a side quest where if you regularly return here, she will just have a chat with you. And you can kind of influence her and who she is and how she feels about the world. So we can say that she's should be ashamed, or we can be nice and consoling. Now, in vanilla, there's a weird thing, which is basically the best reward for this quest is to be a dick to her. I'm not joking. You should tell her she should be ashamed, and you kind of push her to a certain place. And there's all these different outcomes. What she chooses to do with her life and where you find her ultimately changes based on what you do. I think in this version of the game, we can be nice, and it's kind of, you know, you can kind of choose a little bit more. So I'm going to be nice, which is something I've actually never done in Final Fantasy XII, but I'm going to do here, so don't be silly. I'm glad you think so. I sometimes worry that a true Vieira would not have such difficulty finding her way. I wonder if my sister had such doubts when first she left the wood. Ah, pay no mind to my mutterings. Pray, speak again with me soon. The only thing that's really important here is that if you're going to be nice, be nice. If you're going to be mean, be mean. If you do like half on half, if you like half-ass it, you won't necessarily get a great reward. You know, you're not going to get the best of results. So while we're here as well, I may as well have a quick chat with Mont Blanc at Clan Centurio. So for defeating marks and stuff, Clan Centurio will be very happy with you. But just killing any really dangerous creatures like these story bosses, he'll also be impressed with. So look at this. He defeated a pack of flans. Impressive, Kupo. The Rabanastre Common Council send you this with their compliments. Presented in recognition of labours undertaken to lessen the dangers of the Garamscythe waterway. You obtain 300 gil, 5 more Libra motes. Now, this is one of the main ways we'll get those motes, which is good. Also defeated the Fire Main, did you? Impressive, Kupo. The Rabanastre Healers Covenant sends you this with their compliments. Awarded for the collection of samples to be used in the study of certain intractable maladies. 5 more motes, 400 gil. You defeated the Mimic Queen too? You've been busy, Kupo. A young lad has sent you this with her compliments. A young lad with her compliments? For proving that my dad, who was imprisoned in Nalbana, was innocent. And we get 600 gil. Another great day for Clan Centurio, Kupo. Well, there you have it. We can now ask about new mark. Oh, God, we can't? Jesus. Well, actually, some super deadly marks have unlocked now. I guess because we're a complete newbie, we don't get to see those just yet. So there you have it, guys. That is where I guess I'll leave it off. I really wanted us to get to the next cutscene. You guys have to stick about for the next one. There's so much stuff that's about to happen. Like, obviously, Basch coming back to the city. If someone catches wind of that, that could be crazy, right? How does Vaan get involved with all of this? Where are Fran and Balthier right now? Who, by the way, we can visit in the city. What are we going to do with the Magicite? What's Penelo been up to? We haven't seen her for ages. All these questions and more for the next part. See you guys there. We're actually going to find ourselves in a whole new city soon, and it's a very exciting place. See you there.